What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. And tonight, I have to admit, Vengeance Day was a hell of a show. So tonight, I'm going to be giving you guys the results of NXT Vengeance Day, which was live on Sci-Fi. Next week, it'll be back on the USA Network with the Women's Dusty Cup, which I'm actually excited for. I'm actually excited for that. I can't wait to see who will actually compete in the Women's Dusty Cup. I'm excited. But before we get started, I actually want to give a shout out to actually someone who has just subscribed to the channel, and he actually has a channel of his own. The YouTube username is Juggernaut097. If you guys have not checked him out, I'm actually looking at his videos on my phone. I actually have him on here. He does pretty much everything sports related, whether it's WWE, Impact, was it AEW, retro reviews, pay-per-view retro reviews. He does it all. All things sports related. So make sure you guys check him out. He's pretty fucking awesome. I will have to admit. So make sure you guys subscribe to his channel. The name again is Juggernaut097. That's J-U-G-G. Sorry, let me rephrase. Juggernaut, the number 0, the number 9, and the number 7. Make sure you guys subscribe to him. Incredible, absolutely incredible. Big shouts to him. And let's get straight into it with the first match that kicked off NXT Vengeance Day, which is none other than the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne one-on-one with Tony D'Angelo in a rivalry that dated all the way back to last year, but this time inside a weaponized steel cage. Now, this was an interesting rivalry because this dated back to when Tony D'Angelo first arrived on the scene in NXT last October, November, right around there, and the rivalry just kept brewing and brewing and brewing. War Games, it just kept brewing and brewing, and it all came to a head tonight at Vengeance Day. It was a hell of a match, but even with a crowbar, Tony D'Angelo could not outsmart the Bruiserweight as Pete Dunne put D'Angelo through a table and hit him with a second bitter end actually, to pick up a victory over Tony D'Angelo. Now the question remains, what's next? Well, apparently in a backstage segment, he decided to chase after the North American title, which I won't spoil who won just yet. Next up, we got the women's tag team titles defended as Toxic Attractions, JC Jane, and Gigi Dolan defended their titles against Indy Hartwell and Persia Parada in a very unique matchup, but I will admit this was rather interesting to say the very least. And the reason why I say that is because this is Indy and Persia we're talking about here. I'm on my Fire Stick. That's why I'm looking that way. It's because I'm on my Fire Stick, so I do humbly apologize. But anyway, basically, this matchup was a match to determine who truly runs the NXT Women's Tag Team division. Was it Indy and Persia or Toxic Attraction? And tonight, Toxic Attraction proved they still run it. So now that means Persia and Indy get a second chance in the Women's Dusty Cup. Next up, we actually have the second of 3 title matches that were on the card for Vengeance Day. Carmelo Hayes Cameron Grimes for the North American title. But before we get to that, I want to point out that there was also a segment that featured LA Knight and Grayson Waller. Apparently, Grayson Waller wanted to arrest LA Knight for a bunch of random bullshit, but LA Knight got the best of Grayson Waller, as LA Knight revealed that even though LA Knight could not put his hands on Grayson Waller, the restraining order also said that Grayson Waller could not put his hands on LA Knight unless if the restraining order was lifted. Shockingly enough, it got lifted, and they beat the hell out of each other, and it will happen next week. Grayson Waller, LA Knight, I'm excited for that matchup. There was even also a segment that featured Tommaso Ciampa talking about what happened last night on Raw, and talking about challenging Dolph Ziggler to a match next week on NXT, which honestly, I am excited for that. Shut up and take my money. I am down to see that. I can't wait to see it. It's gonna be it's gonna be a hell of a matchup. Honestly, it's gonna be stupid good in my opinion. But we then have to move on to the NXT North American title match. I'm gonna be honest, this was by far the most bullshit ending. The way it ended was utter, complete bullshit. What do I mean by that? Well, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. They beat the hell out of each other in the matchup, but it was at the closing moments of the it was the final moments of the match that made all the difference. Carmelo Hayes had Cameron Grimes in a crossface. As Cameron Grimes was about to grab the bottom rope, Trick Williams decided to pull back the bottom rope, and Grimes was like, okay, what do I do? What does he do? Simple. He rolls up Carmelo Hayes, forcing Hayes to break the crossface hold, and then Carmelo hits Grimes with a scissors kick from the top rope, picking up the victory. You guys get the picture? Trick Williams got involved, and I feel like had he not have gotten involved, Grimes would have won. Cameron Grimes would have won. That's where Pete Dunne came into play, because they both Hayes and Trick were backstage, and Pete Dunne said, "You're still the North American champion for now," signifying that Pete Dunne wants the North American title. Which honestly, yes, I say, you know what? Let's go for it. Let's see it. Let us see it. Carmelo Hayes, Pete Dunne. Shut up and take my fucking money, man. Come on, let's go. But then we got the finals of the Men's Dusty Cup. MSK, I guess they quote-unquote returning champions, against the Creed brothers from Diamond Mine. This was a very interesting match of contrasted styles. I was all in with this matchup. My eyes were glued to this matchup. I was so interested in this match. I was curious to see how it would work out. In fact, I believe I said the Creed brothers would prevail in my prediction video. I think, what was it, on Wednesday last week, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, and the Creed brothers proved me right. They ended up picking up the victory, a massive victory over the former tag team champions. Kudos to MSK for their efforts. It just wasn't meant to be. It just was not meant to be. I'm sure that their shaman Riddle is a little disappointed, but you know what? It's all good. MSK proved their worth. I think now, I think their time is up. I think it's their time to get called up to the main roster. I think their time has come. But I think if they do get called up to the main roster, I'm pretty sure they might get lost in the shuffle. I'm pretty sure. But we'll see. We will see. But But kudos to MSK. Big shout outs to the Creed brothers. Congrats on the victory. But it was after that shocked the world. All three members of Imperium, Gunther, and the NXT Tag Team Champions, Fabian Aichner and Marcel Barthel, were in the ring congratulating the Creeds on winning the Dusty Cup. And then Gunther said that he was interested in the NXT title match between Santos Escobar and Braun Breaker, and Solo Sikoa came in and said, "I'm gonna beat your ass and make you my bitch." Literally, Solo Sikoa said that. Clearly, come on. Like, I'm gonna be perfectly honest right now. Like, Solo Sikoa versus Gunther, I'm all for it. But Imperium versus the Usos and their brother Solo Sikoa, shut up and take my fucking money. Shut up, take my money, make the match happen. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. If y'all want to see that match, drop comments below and let the world know. That match needs to fucking happen. But again, big shout outs to MSK. Kudos to them. Creed brothers picked up the big victory. And then, of course, we got the NXT title match between the champion Braun Breaker and the challenger Santos Escobar. This was a very interesting clash of styles in the form of speed and agility in Santos Escobar, and then power, strength, and agility of Braun Breaker. I said that Legado del Fantasma would get involved. Shockingly enough, they got involved, but I never thought Dolph Ziggler would get involved as he hit Braun Breaker with a super kick. We all thought that Dolph would cost Braun Breaker the title, but that did not come to pass. Tommaso Ciampa got involved, attacking Dolph Ziggler, which allowed which allowed Santos to hit Braun Breaker with a tornado DDT, and as he was about to hit a frog splash a la Eddie Guerrero, that backfired. Santos got hit with the spear, got hit with the power slam, and Braun Breaker picked up the 1, 2, 3. Big shout outs to Santos and Escobar. Kudos to him. Hell of a match, but Braun Breaker picked up the victory. But I'm excited for next week. Next week is going to be insane. We got the start of the women's Dusty Cup. We got LA Knight versus Grayson Waller. We've got Dolph Ziggler versus Tommaso Ciampa, and possibly if the match gets made official, Gunther versus Solo Sikoa. Hell of a card next week. It's going to be incredible. Back on the USA Network. But I'm excited for next week. And that will do it for today's video. That brings me to the question of the day. What were you guys' thoughts on NXT Vengeance Day? And what do you think could have been different about this card? Let me know in the comments below. And that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want to see more pay-per-view, big show result videos in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on any new content that comes your way. And be sure to follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. All the links will be down in the description below. And if you guys have any fan mail you want to send me and want me to open up on the channel, my info will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.